Is Frenkie de Jong breaking up with Barcelona? Once again, we have come to that very curious question. If we run the years back to, let's say, 2022, the two most talked about transfer sagas have been that of Kylian Mbappe and Frenkie de Jong. But now, as it looks like the Mbappe one is starting to unravel, following his announcement to leave PSG, de Jong's situation is set for more unexpected twists and turns. In this video, we'll talk about what news awaits Barcelona fans regarding de Jong, why his relationship with Barca is so problematic, and how the Dutchman builds his own luxurious lifestyle. So make sure to stick around until the end, when we reveal the top clubs that might afford him, and we'll also give our opinion on where he would fit perfectly. Frenkie's early life and career. Frenkie de Jong was born on the 12th of May 1997 in the small Dutch town of Gorinchem. His professional career started at Willem II in 2015, having previously spent 10 years in the team's academy. Curiously, at a professional level, Frenkie played just one game at Willem II because a few weeks after his debut, he was approached by Ajax bosses about a possible transfer. Willem II was paid the symbolic sum of only 1 million euros for de Jong's services, which we urge you to remember for the progress of the story. At Ajax, Frenkie spent 3 seasons, initially playing for the youth team for 2 years between 2015 and 2017. His star flashed for the first time during the second half of the 2016-17 campaign, when manager Erik ten Hag saw his incredible potential and demanded the staff to call Frenkie to train with the men's team. Subsequently, de Jong started being called up for Ajax games, mostly appearing from the bench. It was clear to pundits and the fans that the team had an unpolished gem that only needed to show its full potential. That's exactly why de Jong got the chance to shine in Ajax's first European final in 21 years. At the end of the 2016-17 season, he came on as a substitute in the 82nd minute, but didn't have enough time to make an impact as Ajax lost the Europa League final 2-0. However, even though he lost his first major final, 2017-18 and 2018-19 were definitely the 2 breakthrough seasons for him in his career. In his first, he became more of a rotational player, featuring in 26 games, recording 1 goal and 7 assists, while 2018-19 bore the Frenkie de Jong we know today. Amazing stability for a 19-year-old boy, bringing balance between the defense and the midfield, flashy movements with the ball, world-class ball carrying, and most importantly, deadly passing. Qualities every elite midfielder requires. In the 2018-19 season, Frenkie played an incredible amount of 52 games, mostly starting from the first minute. He is remembered as the engine in that ten Hag team, together with other very memorable names such as Dusan Tadic, David Neres, Hakim Ziyech, Andre Onana, and of course Frenkie's best friend, Matthijs de Ligt. The team reached the semi-finals of the Champions League, beating Real Madrid and Juventus consecutively, which was arguably Ajax's biggest European success in the 21st century. Remember those 1 million euros we talked about earlier? Well, in the summer of 2019, Ajax made 75x profit on the sale of Frenkie de Jong compared to the price they bought him for 3 years prior. Barcelona was monitoring his situation for months, and in the end, they decided to invest big money in him, paying a 75 million euro fee. Yes, you probably know the rest of the story. Frenkie signed a contract with then-president Josep Maria Bartomeu at a huge salary until 2023, which was subsequently extended to 2026. But then, names like Lionel Messi, Sergio Busquets, and Gerard Piqué left the club in the meantime, which made de Jong the man with the highest salary out of all 28 first-team players, including loans. His gross per year currently stands at an incredible 37.5 million euros, which causes huge headaches for the club's bosses. That's why Barcelona still doesn't know whether to keep or sell him. On one hand, you know that you have one of the best midfielders in the world, or even the best if we judge by Ronald Araujo's words. However, on the other hand, you have the clear idea that by selling him, the team will both get a huge transfer fee, probably in the range of around 100 million euros, and will also get rid of his astronomical salary. In short, only by triggering this economic move, a huge part of the club's financial crisis will be solved. And mentioning Frenkie's salary, let's talk about his lifestyle, how he actually spends his Barca money. First, it might be appropriate to mention who he is spending them with, as he's been with the beautiful Miki Kimini for over 10 years. The two met in high school, and have barely been without each other since then. When Frenkie signed with Barcelona, Mickey immediately moved with him to the Catalan city. Now, speaking of his house in Spain, Frenkie lives in a big $5 million mansion in the luxurious neighborhood of Pedralbes in the upper northwest side of Barcelona. There are all kinds of extras and features in there, such as a tennis court, a garden, a long Olympic-style swimming pool, and a home gym, where he often does his recovery workouts when injured, for example. And speaking again of that sweet moment between Araujo and Frenkie a little while ago, they seem like good friends, as the Uruguayan reportedly bought a house right next to Frenkie's a couple of months ago. When we talk about Frenkie's cars, he is definitely not one of those guys with flashy high-speed supercars. But still, when he came to Barcelona, he bought a brand new Porsche Macan worth $90,000. It has a twin turbocharged V6 engine, allowing it to accelerate to 60 miles per hour in just 5 seconds. Its power is clocked in at 375 horsepower, while the car's top speed runs at 167 miles per hour. Apart from that, the player has been seen cruising around to and from practice with a $50,000 BMW Series 3, which is far more modest than the Porsche model. Sure, you might have expected something flashier from Frenkie de Jong, but in fact, he has his reasons for having left the expensive toys in the past. At the end of last November, the Dutchman and his wife Mickey became parents when their son Miles de Jong was born. And you want to know something interesting? His son was born on the 21st of November, while Frenkie plays with the number 21 as a tribute to his grandfather, who was born on the 21st of April. What an amazing coincidence! Where to now for Frenkie de Jong and Barcelona? Honestly, this is a question a lot of Barca fans are asking themselves right now. However, let's do some simple math. Right now, Frenkie de Jong is 27 years old, which means that he currently is or would soon be in his prime. According to Transfer Market, which is the most reliable source for football insights, Frenkie de Jong's price is set at 80 million euros. Which, on the other hand, means that in the summer, with the current state of the transfer market, he could easily be sold for around 100 million, as we mentioned above. This is the first scenario, and probably the most favorable one for the long-term condition of Barcelona's financial situation. The second scenario consists of Frenkie staying beyond this summer without re-signing his contract, continuing with his current 37.5 million salary, and probably leaving in either 2025 or 2026. If he leaves in 2025, he would have 1 year until the end of his contract, being a 29-year-old, and the whole of Europe would be trying to get him as cheaply as possible. If nothing happens until 2026, he would just be leaving as a free agent, which would mean that Barca has paid a total of around 250 million euros, combining his salaries and transfer fee. And that leads us to the third scenario, which, to be fair, is the most probable. For the last couple of weeks, there have been sources that Barcelona has contracted him for a contract extension, but with the same terms and money. This is a move that has already been used with some of the players on the team already. It means that if currently Frenkie gets 37.5 million euros a year, or has to bag 112.5 million for the rest of his contract, the club would stretch that sum for 2 or 3 more years, until 2028, for example. And this would not harm Barcelona's budget. But yeah, a solution has yet to be found, and there will definitely be some information in the coming weeks. Now, as we promised, which is the team that we think Frenkie de Jong would fit the most? Drum rolls, please. Bayern Munich. Yes, the German Giants are in desperate need of a mobile and dynamic player in the center of the pitch. Leon Goretzka is big and strong and is not a proper ball carrier. Jamal Musiala is playing a lot further on the pitch, while Konrad Laimer doesn't have the needed quality for those big games in the Champions League. Yes, the man that has the closest qualities to de Jong's is Joshua Kimmich, but he is more of a defensive midfielder, not an interior like Frenkie. In fact, there are rumors that Barcelona likes Kimmich, which makes us think not dismissing also a possible swap deal between Bayern and Barca involving de Jong and Kimmich. And with all that being said, we've reached the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, you can give us a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. What are your thoughts? How will the Frenkie de Jong saga unravel? And what decision would you want him to take? Share with us down below, and we'll catch you in the next one.